Timmy finally worked up the courage to ask for his crush's number, and she said yes. Yes, I can't believe it. All my dreams and wishes have finally come true. But this is where Timmy ruins everything. Aha, I'll just blow up her phone, I'll text her all day, I'll tell her how much I like her, and that'll make her want to go out with me. Oh no, don't do it, Timmy. Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. You're the woman of my dreams. I can't believe you'd actually take an interest in me. She opens the message and cringes in disgust. A few hours later, and she hasn't replied. Timmy goes to send her another message and blocked. Timmy is left confused. Where did I go wrong? If only I had the answers. Timmy hears a voice in the distance, like it's laughing at him. Ha ha ha, Timmy. If only you knew. Who is that? Who's there? Timmy starts to hear footsteps in the distance, and the sound is slowly getting closer and closer. Alexander. Oh, Timmy, my boy. You made every rookie mistake in the book. You didn't seriously think what you said would work, did you? Just like Timmy, Alexander used to not be able to text girls. But through many failures, Alexander eventually developed the 4-step framework for texting women. Alexander takes Timmy under his wing and teaches him his ways. And now you may be asking, okay, what is this 4-step framework? That's what we are going to cover in this video. Step number 1, the opening message. So first of all, the first thing you absolutely need to avoid is sending corny pickup lines. Now, a lot of guys think, oh yeah, if I can just make her laugh and I can be funny, that's what's gonna make her wanna go out with me. But when you say these stupid ass pickup lines, things like, oh, is your name Faith? Because I have faith that we're gonna have a great relationship. Oh, is your name Sarah? Because I think you should serenade me on our first. It's like, oh my gosh, bro, shut up. No, that doesn't make you sound attractive. It just makes you sound like a clown. And whenever you send these corny pickup lines, you may think that it's attractive and funny, but in reality, what ends up happening is you end up being the guy who the girl screenshots his text message, and then you end up getting roasted in her friend's group chat, and that's not the guy that you want to be. So now you're saying, okay, well, what's the best thing I can possibly say? Which is the number one way you should open a message with a girl is sliding up on her story. Let's say, for example, she posts that she's out at a restaurant that you've been to before, or she's out at a sports game. You can just reply to that and go, hey, you know, I've been to that restaurant before. It's really good. What'd you think of it? Or, oh, no way, you're also a Seattle Mariners fan? Yeah, I'm a Seattle Mariners fan too. That's awesome. Like, what'd you think of the game? Now, here's the thing, bro. If she posts something that you can't relate to, like let's say she posts herself listening to a Taylor Swift song, right? Don't go, oh my gosh, yeah, wow, yeah, Taylor Swift is so amazing. Like, shut up, bro. You don't actually listen to Taylor Swift, okay? Only say something, only reply if it's something that you can actually relate to. And the reason why this is so good is because it just allows for a natural conversation to start. It breaks the ice in a very natural way compared to just sliding into her DMs out of the blue when you don't really have anything to talk about. Now you're saying, okay, well, that's great, but what if she never posts on her story? What if she never posts on Instagram and I don't have anything to reply to? And my response to that would be, okay, if you have nothing to reply to, right, don't sit around and wait for her to post something, because then you're just sitting around and you're waiting to text her. Just send her whatever you would say to her in person. That's the next best thing. A lot of guys overthink texting. What's the best message? What's the perfect first thing to say? When in reality, you should just say to her whatever you would say to her if you saw her in person. If you saw her in person, you would just say something like, hey, I saw you and I thought you were cute and I want to get to know you better. What's your number? Well, social media can be the same exact thing. You don't got to overthink it. Just say, hey, give a genuine compliment, and then move eventually to getting her number. Step number 2, you want to be relatable. If there is one cheat code to getting women to like you, especially over social media, it's finding a way to relate to them. And the same logic could apply to dating apps, by the way. The reason why this is so important is because when you're meeting someone over social media, it's very like odd, right? You've never talked to her before, you've never met her, so you want to find some way to build some sort of connection. So the best way to do this is finding something you can relate to her on. For example, let's say you ask her, right? You're texting her, what's your favorite place you've been to for a vacation? And she goes, oh, you know, I've been to Hawaii before and I really liked it there. And then you go, oh, no way, like I've been there too. Then you can talk about that. Or you talk about your favorite hobbies, right? Oh, what do you like to do for fun? Oh, I like to go hiking. Oh, no way, I love going hiking too. Like, what's your favorite hike you've been on? You see how when you can relate to a girl, it helps you get on the fast track towards getting her on a date, because she can actually connect with you. She can see a bit of a similar interest there. So instead of just having boring, mundane conversations, find things that you guys have in common and focus on talking about those. And also, This will give you more insight into planning a first date. If you know she likes hiking, well, you can take her hiking for a first date. If you know there's a certain restaurant that she likes, then you know a great spot to take her the first time you go out. So avoid being dry and boring and focus on being relatable. Step 3, focus on escalating. Where so many guys mess up with texting girls is they make texting the focus. They become the girl's texting buddy. That is not what you want to do. You are not texting this girl because you just want to be her friend. You're texting her because you want to take her on a date. So you have to focus on moving things forward. Don't just sit there and text her and waste your time for 2 to 3 weeks. When I think back to my younger self, there were so many times where I had a chance to take a girl out on a date or to go and do something with her, but I blew it because I waited way too long to ask her out, and eventually she just got bored, right? So many guys think the more I text a girl, the more she'll like me back, but that's actually not true at all. It actually does the complete opposite. I mean, think about it. If you talk about everything, you share your whole story before you even meet, what are you gonna have to talk about when you actually go out on a date? So instead of being her texting buddy and sitting back and texting her for 2 to 3 weeks or even a month, just focus on escalating as fast as possible. In reality, the time frame from first texting her to going on a date should be no more than a week. And ideally, it's like 2 to 3 days. So how you go about doing this, right? You send the opening message, you have a little bit of conversation, and if you can tell, like, okay, it seems like things are going well, we might have some similar interests. From there, after you have a couple conversations, you go, hey, I'd like to get to know you better. What's your number? Then you get her phone number. And the reason you get the phone number is because the next thing you want to do is you want to find a time to FaceTime. The reason why calling or FaceTiming is so important is because it allows you to kind of get a feel on whether or not you guys are going to vibe together, right? If you call her and you guys can have a good conversation, you guys have a lot of chemistry, that's probably going to translate to seeing her in person. And the other reason why calling is so important is because it allows the girl to trust you a lot more. I mean, think about it from her perspective, right? She's talking to some guy who she's never met before, right? It could be a bit nerve-wracking. It could be a bit weird. So the way you want to limit this a bit and make it better is by letting her hear your voice, letting her talk to you, right? So she knows you're like a real dude and not some weird like 70-year-old creep. Then step 4, if the FaceTime goes well, you want to ask her out. Now, a lot of guys pussy out in this situation. They think, oh, like, well, I want to ask out the girl, but what if I get rejected? What if she says no? But here's how I like to think about it, right? Yes, getting rejected sucks, okay? But do you know what sucks even more? The feeling of never finding out, of seeing her go out with somebody else and you blew your chance. So the way I like to think about it is if the FaceTime goes well, if you guys are texting well, just ask her out to go on a date. Say, hey, I've loved getting to talk to you. I'd love to get to know you better. When are you free to get together? Then she'll give you her schedule and you can plan a date. And if she says no, no worries. You're back exactly where you were in the first place. But if you never ask, if you bitch out of it, then you're only limiting yourself from opportunities. So focus on asking the girl out and getting her in person, because no matter how much you text someone, you will never be able to build up as good of a connection as if you see them in person. So you should always, yes, text her for a little bit so you can get to know each other, but never wait too long to ask her out, because that's where you build in-person connection. And also, there are so many guys who just text girls, who just talk to them over the phone, but don't have the balls to ask them out. So when you're the one guy who actually has a pair of balls and who will actually go and see her in person, it makes you stand out from the crowd, right? Don't be like every other beta male who's sitting behind his phone, texting her. Be the guy who's actually going out with her and taking her on dates. Now you're saying, okay, well, I know how to send the first message. I know how to get her number. I know how to plan the date. But after that, what do I do from there? And the simple way I want you to think about it is texting should be used mostly to make plans, not to get to know a girl. What a lot of guys who struggle with women do is they think the more I text her, the more I do, the more she's gonna like me. But that's not necessarily true. Do you think a girl is really attracted to the guy who's sitting around texting her all day? No, because that's a huge waste of time. She's attracted to the man who's focused on his mission and goals. She's attracted to the man who's focused on becoming his best self. And then absolutely, when you have some time to text her, absolutely send her a quick message. Tell her that you miss her. Tell her that you can't wait to see her again. But you're the man who's not focused on chasing girls. You're the man who's focused on chasing his purpose. Because girls will always chase the guy who is chasing his purpose. purpose. Now, if you're like younger me and you're struggling with dating and you would like my help with becoming your best self, becoming more attractive to women, and actually conquering and fixing your dating life, the top link in the description will be where you can book a free one-to-one call with me to see if you would be a good fit for the one-to-one coaching. And if you are, bro, I would love to work with you and get you help achieving the results that you want. But if you found this video helped you, be sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you can see more videos like these. I'll see you for the next video, bro.